Hello everyone, this is Red with RedDragonLeo.com, and today is Monday, the 27th of September. We're looking here at Cobra's short-term daily SPY chart, and I was really surprised today that we did not close up a little bit higher. That sell-off into the close was quite negative. We probably, I really, as I expected, or as I told you in the weekend video, I was kind of expecting a gap up above this 1150 area, and then to, fail and fall back down. Maybe hit this trend line or something like that, go up there maybe 1155 to 1160 range, and then put in a smaller tower here on the 60-minute chart, putting in a histogram, or putting in a negative divergence. But that did not happen. We just kind of continued going on down, and looking for tomorrow, we are getting ready to go into negative territory, which means, and that's on the 60-minute, which is more of the powerful chart when it comes to the daily moves, I find, because it almost takes a full day in most cases for the 60 to get overbought or oversold. If you notice, if you actually counted all these bars right here, that's actually like 2 days, and so this is kind of like 2 days as well. So one full day into it would put a nice nice sell-off on it. So as you can see, it is putting in smaller towers here on the moving averages, which is negative divergence, and it's getting ready to roll into negative territory there below the zero. As far as the stochastics is going, it's still well up here above 80, which means it's got a long ways to go before it gets down into oversold conditions. So we very well could easily pop back down here tomorrow. If this thing continues down, we could easily pop back down here to this double bottom area and make a triple bottom, or even pierce it and keep on going maybe to here. This trend line comes in right, in fact, with this line right here, which is the double bottom. So, same kind of thing there. The trend line comes in out here, I should say. But as we fall, I don't think it might not make it that far. But regardless, I definitely think that we're going to sell off at least the early part of the morning tomorrow. I don't see any way that it's not going to sell off, continue selling off some. Now, whether or not they turn it and reverse it is another story. There's a gap right here on that big Friday gap up that they'd probably like to go down and feel. So, go down there, feel it, maybe bounce here, do a triple bottom, or maybe just come in, put in a little higher low, and maybe just roll down here and put in a smaller histogram tower on the bottom side and put in a positive divergence, allowing it to recycle back up. But the whole thing here about this 1150 top is, I think it's done right now without a nice retracement back down. So, and I don't mean just to here. I mean, I think we need to at least break this right here and come down to another level before we go and try to make another run at 1150, if they're going to do so at all. So in other words, this here wave here, I think, is complete as it's labeled here by the chart pattern guy. He doesn't do Elliott wave either, but after the fact, it's not nearly as hard to do. So, and this does make sense in the labeling to me. So, and on the daily here, let's look more at Cobra's chart on the daily. On the daily, it kind of makes sense that it's complete as well. You could easily count the moves up on this as well as a wave 1, a wave 2, a wave 3, a wave 4, and a shortened wave 5 here, if it's ended here, because I really expected it to pierce up above it today to take out the stops and then fail. And that is very very bearish, because in the pre-market, before it opened, the ES, which is a few points below the S&P here, the SPX, it was trading at 1150. So 1150 on it is probably more like about 1154, 1155. It was definitely well above the high here, and then it fell off before the opened and fell down to, I think, about 1144, 45 area, and this basically opened flat, which was not very bullish at all. That's not good for the bulls. The VIX here also ended up putting in a positive bar. Let me refresh this here a second. And you know, it still does have this major support right back down here. Okay, hang on there. As I was telling you in the weekend video, this major support on this line all the way down, extended down to here. So right to this point right here, just above 20. It could certainly fall to that level if it wanted to, but it didn't. It went down, then back up, and so it's kind of an indecision candle. But the thing that bothers me, I guess, the most about today was how it was extremely light volume, yet extremely light volume, but yet they did not have the ability to break up above the 1150 area, which is, you know, a bearish sign. Now maybe they're just tricking us, but we all know that Mondays, mutual fund Monday, this is when they got the money to spend. If there was any day to do it, it should have happened today, just in my opinion. Now, they still have some money left that they'll be spending all the way until the last day of this month, which, you know, at this point, they spent the bulk of it, I would say, probably today. So it leads me to believe, again, that we are going to go down probably starting tomorrow. And so if we went down in the middle of the day tomorrow, here's the 30-minute chart. Same thing on it. On this longer time period here of 65, 90, and 12, if you kind of go down here and put in a lower histogram tower, it will allow you to roll back up into Wednesday, maybe get a little pop into Wednesday, possibly. Same thing here. This is the shorter time frame, the 12, 26, and 9. It's already, you know, going down into negative territory, so it should. Just the fact that it went down and tried to recycle back up and couldn't, failed, and then started to go down again, this tells you it's going to go deeper, most likely tomorrow morning. And so, and again, the moving averages here on the MACD are also rolling over. So all signs right now are pointing to a sell-off tomorrow, at least the first part of the day, and back down to where it finds some support and then maybe bounces a little bit. I really am not looking for it to bounce up and go above this 1150 unless it gets a bigger retracement. I don't think it's just going to go down here and bounce and then take a big run and go up. And that obviously a lot has to do with the daily chart getting ready to roll over. Here on the daily chart, it's running out of time. It should roll down a little bit. And now whether or not it rolls down here and just puts in a few bars under and then recycles back up later, that's a possibility. But it should still roll over the next 1, 2, 3, 4 days. I mean, it should be rolling down here by Thursday or Friday. This thing should be close to the zero mark if it continues the way it's going. Even if it does, even if on the 60 here, even if it does roll down here and put in a smaller histogram tower on the negative side to put in a positive divergence, allowing it to rise back up. So, you know, Friday's the first, and it's a possibility that, you know, that there'll be some buy-in on October the 1st. And it's OPEX. Remember, it's OPEX on the quarterlies. So they could certainly take it down Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and run it up a little bit on Friday. just simply to pin the SPY where it benefits them the most. That's a definite possibility. So, you just don't know how, are they heavily on the call side or on the put side? I don't know. And then as far as, again, I pretty much covered what I thought here on the weeklies, as far as where I think we're going for the next month or so into November. So it looks like we could have a 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks up. We're due a down week. If we have one down week this week and then turn and go up the next week, that would certainly fool a lot of the bears, and it's certainly a possibility, because again, this thing is not rolled over yet, and there's nothing to say that it's just going to go up here and just fall over. I'm not, I don't know, but I really think as far as for the rest of the week, it's going to be fairly in line with what I was saying in the weekend videos, which again was that Monday would be an up day. I'm awful in that. We did go up, but we didn't close up, so it did end up closing down, but we did go up. But I think we'll be down on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then possibly up a little bit on Wednesday, but I think the week will still close out in negative territory. So anyone that took a short today will probably be okay for a few days, and see how that goes. And then Friday, they might want to exit out just because they're going to try to pin the SPY somewhere. So, and again, you look at this here chart, and it shows you how massively overbought it was, and how this last time, even on this big run up, how they could barely get above 70, and now they failed back. So we should go down here. If this follows any kind of pattern in the past, we should go down here and put in, some days below 30 like this. It doesn't have to be massively sell-off like this, big red candles, but I think we should go down here and do just that. And of course, this support right here could be the bottom. If it goes down here to the end of the week and finds support there, or even further down here on this 111 area, this moving average of 110.85, that's the 200, that would certainly should give it a bounce. But see, I don't really have any fake prints to the downside here, other than the 105, which is, man, that's a long ways down, that 105.39. I don't think it's ready to get down to that point just yet, unless something really crazy happens in the next few days. But I just think that right now they're just going to take it down throughout this week to get a negative week, and then possibly the following week maybe start to run back up, make another attempt for that 1150. It just, I don't know, it just doesn't feel like that they're done here at this 1150. It just seems too obvious to me. I don't know why, but just doesn't seem like it's ready to crash yet. So that would coincide with the VIX breaking out of a wedge here, breaking out, putting in high bars, and then doing a back test. So if it took 3 or 4 or 5 days, busted out, and then turned around and did a back test, that would coincide with that. And that just kind of makes more sense to me. And looking at it, a cleaner version of it here, it just doesn't feel like it's ready to quit yet. So again, same thing here, 111.17 the moving average, 200 moving average. So over the course of the next few days, we possibly could come to there, or possibly even to just a double bottom right there. But regardless of how low we go, I am looking for more selling throughout the rest of the week and closing out the week negative, with the biggest day to possibly have an up day on a Friday. And that's only because it's OPEX, and they want to pin this thing somewhere, and also psychologically make the market look like it's okay for people to go into the weekend and spend money and blah blah blah, and make it look like everything's rosy. So maybe a rally on Friday. So okay, so that's what I'm thinking. Looks like we're on target so far, guys. Good luck, everyone.